So a report came out a couple of weeks back talking about the broadcast teams, which people are, very interested in, obviously, to go along with these massive, awesome TV deals that the XFL has in place with ABC, Fox, ESPN. And some of the names are the same that we heard in those initial reports, but there are some new ones. And to me, you look at the list, and it's another notch in how the XFL has legitimized themselves as a very viable football league.
Yeah, and if you're taking a look at the league, one of the names that really stood out to me was Steve Levy. I mean, he's kind of the second guy in line at calling all the big games, whether it's college or the NFL, at ESPN. That's a home run hire for these guys.
And he's a guy that's been there forever.
Yeah, he's been there since 1993. Obviously it's currently year 2019, so he's been there. He's got longevity. He's got tenure. He's one of the most senior guys there. He's one of the most respected. He holds a lot of weight outside of the company. Like, a lot of people know his name that are even just casual sports fans. So that's a huge get to be their lead anchor. But another name that really stood out to me was Greg McElroy.
And he's a new name on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an up-and-coming young cat. Was a four-year quarterback at Alabama. Graduated in graduated in 2010. So, he's played in the NFL for a couple of years, but he's a young voice and one of the more articulate guys you'll hear on the broadcast too. He was a Rhodes Scholar finalist, Master of Science degree. So the guy is a all-around great, articulate analyst for the league to have.
Yeah, he does a great job of really breaking plays down. And Dan Orlovsky was originally, in the first reports that came out, he was slated in that color position. But I think Greg McElroy is a home run addition to pair up with Steve Levy. What do you think, Les?
Yeah, I think he's been on a lot of college football lives, does a lot of college preview stuff on ESPN. And you can tell he's just extremely articulate. He obviously knows the game inside and out. I mean, just the way he's able to break down offenses and defenses on ESPN. So I'm excited about that. The one that stood off to me was Dianna Russini as a fellow George Mason Patriot. Hey, so she's also really good. She does the NFL Live. She does a lot of the NFL Live stuff as the host. She was also a Skins beat reporter. One of the funny things about her, she gets a lot of inside scoops, I guess you could say. So I'm really looking forward to see what she can get for the XFL as far as kind of breaking news, and see if she becomes kind of that face to break just kind of information that none of us really know. She's done a lot of stuff on Monday Night Football this year too. So I think she's awesome as far as an on-field analyst.
I mean, these are big-time ESPN names that we are mentioning here. And then, Kenny, there's another name in this first team that has XFL ties that you're really pumped about too.
Yeah, Tom Luginbill. He actually was with the original XFL iteration. He was with the Los Angeles Extreme. He was a quarterback's coach and a director of player personnel. After that, he became the national recruiting director for Scouts Inc., which, if anybody who loves college football or any recruiting, has been to Scouts Inc., and he was the guy there. Obviously, they were purchased by ESPN, so he became a recruiting analyst for ESPN. Worked his way up to sideline analyst. I just like the perspective he brings to the broadcast. For me, as a college football and recruiting guy, I love it.
Yeah, and then so that's a hell of a first team. I mean, that's great. Then you go down to the second team, and to me, there's a guy in here that he was kind of rumored to be involved with the XFL. It hadn't been official yet, and now it's official. He came out with it on Twitter. He's a huge personality. I know, Pastel, you're pumped about Pat McAfee.
I love it, man.
And he kind of first came. I mean, people know him from being the punter on the Colts teams, with Peyton Manning and whatnot. But he really kind of came into his personality came out last year's NFL draft when he went on that that epic rant, and now he's kind of growing in the ESPN world. He has his own show. He's a big personality, and he's not even going to be in the booth, which I think is perfect. He's going to be a field analyst. So Pastel, I know you're really pumped about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that I think he brought new life to ESPN. I mean, he's just a new breed. as far as a commentator. And I think with him now on the sideline, on his Twitter feed, he said the other day he's going to be on the sideline, possibly right beside the coach, right after the coach makes a
unprecedented
play.
Access,
right?
Is what they
and he's
said.
Gonna be like, hey, so what were you thinking as you just made that call? Because we're all asking those questions.
Yeah.
I ask it every Sunday watching the Bengals. Like, why are you making that play or calling that play? And now McAfee's gonna be there right beside him asking him those questions. And I think it's gonna be awesome access too. He's one of those guys I feel like could be right here on XFL Chalk Talk, and we can just straight kick it with them. I mean, he is one of the boys. I'm excited to hear him. I'm excited to get some of the content that he's gonna get from us on the field. He's just home run hit, in my opinion, for ESPN.
Oh, he fits that position so well, just being able to roam around and kind of,
absolutely.
bump into people, just to get some good sound bites out of people.
Vince McMahon loves him. You know that. He
my
is
God.
such a Vince McMahon guy. I mean, couldn't be. Vince McMahon wish he had Pat McAfee the first time around. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The league would have survived with Pat McAfee. I'm with that. I'm with Pastel. I'm so jacked up to see what he can do to the broadcast. He's gonna make it a lot of fun.
No, he's like that new wave, like what Pastel said. He's just that new kind of younger personality. He's very he's just got a big personality that he's going to bring to the game. So I think it's a home run hit, and it just makes a ton of sense. I don't know if you guys have watched like his show. I watch a lot of his clips on YouTube, and it's not just a bunch of, he's not just, a funny guy, but like he knows how to break. Yeah, he knows how to break things down. It's pretty incredible, and he just does it in kind of his own quirky way. I mean, he wears like jorts every day on his show. Like he's just one of the boys, and it's gonna be he's gonna bring like just this amazing aspect to like what you get on the field. And the XFL is all about taking the game to that extra level of access. And I think Pat McAfee is going to be like a huge piece to that, giving fans more of an insight into the game, just to like kind of make the XFL a little different, and just go a little further into the access that fans get.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing they're doing, and I'm curious as if to, and it's probably a topic for another show, but it'd be curious to see if Fox does something similar with their setup, if they're going to have that unprecedented access, that field analyst as they call it, where they're going to go and have immediate feedback from like maybe a quarterback who just threw an untimely pick, or a coach who made a bonehead call, like Brandon said earlier. I'm curious as if they're going to be, how the broadcast, how different or similar they're going to be.
Yeah,
because
what kind of personality they'd bring in for it.
Well, and apparently the rumor is both ESPN and Fox are going to be footing the bill and they're creating the content. Like they have complete creative control of how the broadcast is going to go.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to compare and contrast the difference of both.
I just think it's going to be awesome to actually get some raw emotion middle of the game. We always get that post-game analysis. Man, I want that in-game reality. I want that raw emotion, man. That's what's really going to sell me on this.
And they tried to do that with the first XFL. Like they had, they had guys going up and
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura,
Jesse Ventura. Do you remember
and he
that?
was getting in fights with the New York Hitman coach. And
hey, Hitman!
It's just obnoxious, over the top. Just the whole wrestling shtick. That's not what this is at all. It's completely different. It's just giving fans more of a glimpse into what's going on in the games. So it'll be interesting. Fox hasn't come out with their list yet. We have heard a couple of names, and they're both extremely legitimate names, and Kurt Menefee and Joel Klatt, who's like their number one NCAA guy at Fox. So, these Fox and ESPN, they're bringing in big time names, big time personalities. Just shows that they're invested in the XFL as well.
It's unfortunate at the Spring League during March Madness, because I'd love to have Gus Johnson call some XFL games, but he'll be doing all the conference tournament stuff for basketball.
I think one thing you see too out of everybody here, if you exit Rossini out, everybody here has college football commentating experience, and I think that's no accident, right? Because you're going to have some sort of analysis and understanding who these players are, right? Mm-hmm. Like these guys may have been like a rotational guy at Alabama, or may have been like a starting corner for Florida State for 1 year. Well, like these people will know that, right? Instead of just kind of getting some NFL talking head up there who, may have played in the league for 10 years, but hasn't watched college football in a long time. So I think there's no accident there.
Yeah. I don't know so I'm a big lacrosse guy. You guys probably haven't watched it. Premier Lacrosse League. It's the new upstart league. Paul Rabel, he's like the biggest personality in lacrosse. But
must have missed it.
I bring that up because the access that they give the fans is unbelievable. Like, they have microphones inside the helmet. A guy scores a goal, they literally ask him about what happened in that play immediately after, before they start the next face-off. So I'm seeing the XFL going in a direction like that, giving that kind of access that's going to separate them. That's how the PLL is separating themselves. And their social media presence is off the charts. They have, vlogs that they have going on during the game, video blogs. I can see Pat McAfee, not just in the broadcast, but on XFL's channel and, ESPN's channel, coming out with videos, showing you inside access that may not be on the broadcast, but like, you can go behind the scenes on their social media channels as well. So there's that aspect of it as well that I think the XFL can really capitalize on.
I feel like I'm going to see more embarrassing moments. I feel like I'm going to see another Sam Darnold saying, "I'm seeing ghosts out there."
That's what I said earlier. Seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
That's
a good point, because the AAF mic'd up all their players, and it was a hot freaking mess. Like, they didn't bring up the mic. Some guys were hot when they weren't supposed to be hot, so you were you were hearing things that they probably didn't want the public to hear. I mean, it's hard in the the heat of a game. I mean, we've all played in high level athletic competitions. Like, just when you're in the moment, you're not thinking, "Oh, I'm mic'd up, I probably shouldn't say that." Yeah. Like, they're just saying whatever comes to their mind, especially in football where it's so physical and violent.
Well, luckily, we're going to be getting Fox and ESPN production value and not Bleacher Report and CBS Sports.
There's our AAF shot of the day. I feel like we take one in every video that we do.
That's so true.
But it's just, I can't wait to see what Fox comes out with their final list, because ABC and ESPN, it just shows that they're invested in the XFL and they're taking this seriously. It's not just, let's just get some more live content to throw in there. Like, these are, Steve Levy's been around ESPN forever. I don't think they'd throw him on there if they weren't serious about trying to make the XFL succeed. So it's just another great sign, just to kind of build on the momentum the XFL has with the TV deals. And I'm super excited to see how the broadcasts turn out when we get to February of 2020. What's up, football fans? Visit XFLChalkTalk.com to get the latest analysis, discussions, interviews, and news from around the league. You can also sign up for our email list so you can receive notifications on when content is posted focused on your favorite XFL team.